Hi. Okay, I just wanted to get something off my chest. It's about the written word, right? Hence the title of the video. Okay, so you've got Socrates, right? 2,000 years ago, 2,300 years ago, Socrates, he's considered to be the father of Western philosophy, or grandfather even, right? The originator. Then came Plato, and then came Aristotle, right? But first of all, there was Socrates. He discovered and taught rhetoric, which was the way of speaking clearly about something in a steady order of like to get across information in a way that was very easy to understand, so that it was like a kind of flawless logic, right? And the reason why he's so important is because his work led to the Enlightenment in the 1600s, like 400 years ago, where people started thinking outside the box. It was also fueled by coffee, by the way, the Enlightenment. Right. The Enlightenment then led to the Industrial Revolution. So we started having factories and creating machinery that could help make farming more efficient and stuff. The printing press, all these things led to what we have nowadays, like the machines, the trains, steam engines. Then that led to the internal combustion engine and cars and stuff, and aeroplanes, and all this led up to the computer revolution, where we are now. But one of the things that Socrates taught, was that the written word is a great evil. It's a really, really bad mistake. It's a stupid idea. It's a great error, right? Okay. Now, I've been thinking about this for quite a long time. Pretty much decades, and it's a very difficult thing to think about. The written word it's actually the reason it's so difficult, I found, to think about it is because everyone takes it for granted. So if you try to tell people that there's something wrong with it, they look at you like you're crazy. The people. Okay, let's get on. What else? Right. Okay, so that's one reason why it's so hard to talk about. People just so take it for granted. They can't imagine or visualize a world without the written word, right? They just can't do it. So anyway, they killed Socrates in the end. They made him drink hemlock, a really deadly poison. It's probably quite a quick, painless death, though. I tried hemlock recently, and it's extremely poisonous. Hemlock water drop wort. It's the most poisonous plant, including mushrooms, like death cap and stuff. It's the most poisonous plant in the UK, maybe all of Europe and North America. It's definitely the UK and North America. It's the most poisonous plant. So anyway, that was interesting taking that. I didn't take much. I'll show you how much I took. Right, this is coriander. It's the same family as hemlock. It was about that much. It wasn't very much, just a few little leaves like that. Not very much. You know, I knew it wasn't enough to kill me or cause me any serious harm, but it did make me feel like I had like a bit of like flu symptoms for a few days. I noticed my blood pressure dropping. So I went home, done a bit of research on the internet, found out about what it does to you. Is the poison in there is something called a higher alcohol, which I found interesting because I quite like my alcohol. But it's not like this kind of alcohol. It's completely different. It's really hard for your body to get out of it, get you out of the system. Hi, John. What it does is it drains your body of electrolytes. So you have to get loads of minerals in your body, like salt and potassium and magnesium and zinc and stuff like that. So you have to eat really well if you want to get over it quickly. If you're eating it by accident or something, you just need to eat loads of good quality food, nutrient dense food like kidneys and watercress and bee pollen and stuff like that, and bone broths and. So anyway, they killed Socrates, right? Now, I've noticed a lot of other things, like coincidental things, like Christ, right? Why didn't Christ write a book? Why didn't he write anything down? If you go back in history, you can look at Muhammad as well. Muhammad didn't write anything down. It was considered by thousands of years ago that the written word is corrupting. It corrupts people. So a prophet who writes stuff down is not really a real prophet because they've been polluted by the written word. Yeah. Apples are in season. I bought some pears the other day, John, and they were like a year old. I'm sure they were picked last year from the Netherlands, and they was horrible. It left a really horrible taste in my mouth. But now, there's the season, so apples this time of year, great. For a couple of months now, yeah. But what do you do like before the apple season? If it's like August or July, are you eating apples that come from the other side of the world or from last year? I don't know. To me, that's like weird. I try to eat in season. What's in season, if I can. Anyway, getting back to the written word. I think of it like it's a big deal, right? I've studied it, right? The father of modern Western philosophy, the grandfather, he hated the written word and he said it was a really bad idea. I agree, right? Other people said this. William Burroughs, the author of Naked Lunch, for example, he thought the written word was a terrible idea. The Book of Enoch. I've got it. Now you try and find out, right, why the Book of Enoch is not included in the Bible. And it's difficult to find a proper reason for it. It's proper scripture. It's written as scripture, right? Whereas half the Bible, half the New Testament is not even written as scripture. They're just letters. A lot of it is like letters from this guy, Paul. And and even like the only place it mentions, well, one of the places it mentions Enoch is in the book of Jude, which is also a letter. And right at the beginning, he's apologizing for writing a letter, right? He's using the written word, he's apologizing for it. He's quoting the beginning of the book of Enoch. So anyway, if you go to chapter 68, let's go to chapter 68. Right. Yeah. Chapter 68. I don't know if you probably can't read it, but anyway, I'll read it for you. Verse 9. The name of the fourth is talking about these demons that come down to earth and poisoned everybody's minds. The name of the fourth is Penimu. We get the name Pen, maybe, from Penimu. But I also think the word penis begins with pen, and it's like, I don't know, it's a bit weird, isn't it? The name of the fourth is Penimu. He discovered to the children of men bitterness and sweetness, and pointed out to them every secret of their wisdom. Sounds okay, doesn't it? He taught them to understand writing and the use of ink and paper. Therefore, numerous have been those who have gone astray from every period of the world, even to this day. For men were not born for this, thus with pen and with ink to confirm their faith. This is basically similar to what Socrates said. Just because something's written down doesn't mean you can, just because you can read it, doesn't mean you understand it, doesn't mean you know what it's talking about. Yeah, it does go on a bit more. Since they were not created except that, like the angels, they might remain righteous and pure. But by this their knowledge they perish, and by this also its power consumes them. The written word is very, very clearly telling you that the written word is a bad thing, right? I suspect that's the main reason why the book of Enoch was left out of the Bible, and they put in all these letters, which is just a load of nonsense, really. Nobody can really understand it. It's all nonsense. The book of Enoch, you can understand it. Okay, more. We heard about this, going back to the Greeks again. We've got this story comes down to us, Pandora's box. Pandora was given a box by a god and told not to open the box under any circumstances. I mean, who's going to do something like that? You know? I think of this as the same story. It's basically the same story as the tree of knowledge of good and evil. What's a tree of knowledge? Symbolically, a tree of grows and of knowledge. Now, that's like a library, right? So again, it's about the written word. Don't eat from the tree of knowledge. Don't even touch it lest you die. That's what it says in Genesis. And why put people in a garden with a tree of knowledge and tell them not to touch it? You know, it's just the same story as like Pandora. Here's a box, don't open it. What's she going to do? Oh, after a couple of days, she opens it and all the evils of the world come out, right? And all that's left inside the box is hope, right? It's the written word. We can't throw it away. We're stuck with it. And there is hope there. But the thing is, we need to understand, just like Socrates said, just like the Bible is telling us, just like the Greek parables about Pandora and Pandora's box is telling us, the written word is a lie. John Lydon, he wrote a song. I forgot the name of the song. Like it's an 80s song. John Lydon was from the Pistols. There's a line in that song. The written word is a lie. Yeah, when I go to my doctor, they try to poison me, John. The last time I went to the doctor to try and get something off of him, I wanted modafinil, which I've now got myself. But when I tried asking for it, they tried to give me Zopiclone. And Zopiclone, you're 3.5 times more likely to die if you take Zopiclone once every 3 weeks for a year. That means if I was going to live another 35 years, if I take Zopiclone, then I would only live about 10 years. This is good beer, looks good German beer. Good proper German beer, brewed with well water, no nasty stuff in it, pure. Not like that. What is it you drink? Heineken, Carlsberg or something? Okay, what about the written word? History is all a lie. You can't trust it. It's obvious and it's completely factual, right? That our historians lie through their teeth just like they're breathing. When they breathe, they lie. Every time they speak, they lie. I mean, you just try watching some of New Earth's videos. New Earth, one word. You can find her videos on YouTube. She does all these videos about all these monuments, all the ancient monuments around the world. And our everyday historians, they never talk about it. They don't know how. We don't know how they built the pyramids. We don't know how they built things like Stonehenge. There's all these theories, but they're nonsense. They don't make sense. Tuborg. Oh yeah, Tuborg's not bad actually. Yeah, that's a good beer. Yeah, so I've been thinking about this for a long time now, and I've come to this conclusion: the written word is a great evil. One way of this realizing this is to just have a look around, open your eyes, and have a look around and see that the people who have the written word are causing a man-made mass extinction event. That's like that big meteor that landed on the Earth 60 million years ago and wiped out the dinosaurs and 90% of life on the Earth. We don't need another meteor because we've got the written word, we've got books, we've got bureaucracy. We've got all this pollution. So we don't need a meteor to wipe out 90% of the life on this earth just by having the written word. Because the written word and nature, they're not compatible. I've decided they're just not compatible. If you've got the written word, then you've also got to have paper, you've got to have pens, you've got to have libraries to keep all the books in that have got to be kept dry, you know, and it's all loads of work, and you need people to look after it. They're so busy reading and writing that they need other people to grow their food for them, right? And then it just creates, it's like a snowball effect. People get further and further away from nature. And if you destroy nature, then where do you get your food from? Where are you going to live? You know, what are the animals going to eat? You think you can just turn the whole world into a farm? I mean, it pretty much is already. And another guy, Mark Twain, right? He said it's easier to deceive people, much easier to deceive people than it is to convince them that they've been deceived. Now, I believe that the whole world, all the nations of the world have been deceived by the written word, the veracity of the written word. It's not a good thing. It's not like, it's not upright. It doesn't stand upright. All the historians lie. So all our history is lying, right? So what's the point of having the written word if it's all going to be lies? You know, it's obvious that they're lying. It's not my opinion. They're fucking definitely lying. They're lying through their teeth all the fucking time. So it's not an opinion. You just have to check it out. You just have to look around, open your eyes, and you can see that's what they do. And it's the same with the bureaucrats. The written word is a lie. It's a lie. That's what it is. It's only there to control people and like make all these rules that like and laws that only really serve the very, very rich people mainly. And it's all designed to keep us in our place. And as Mark Twain said, I can tell people this. I can point out all this stuff to people. You know, it's only people with the written word who are destroying the earth, right? That one thing alone. We should stop. If anyone in their right mind would just say, right, we need to get rid of the written word. Come on, everyone, let's get rid of the written word. Let's find a way out of this mess. Stop destroying the planet and go back to nature. You know, have a simple life with beer. You don't need the written word to make beer, right? You can make it like it's easy to make. Hunting, collecting stuff from nature, growing some vegetables, doing a bit of fishing. Putting your poo-poo back in the ground so that you're connected with nature. I mean, we've gone so far away from nature. I mean, I'm stuck living in this tiny little flat. I haven't got a garden. Today, I just went and go and collected my water, like rainwater, because it was raining. Most people can't do that, you know, where I live. Most people just haven't got the time, or they're not strong enough to carry the water back. I was walking along the road with 30 litres of water. I was carrying 30 litres of water. That's like 30 kilos. Good for my bone density. Anyway, so I wanted to talk about this because it's like what I see going on is that people are so, yeah, they are. I haven't actually been, John, to Giza. An interesting experience, yeah. Yeah, I know they're big though. People have told me about them. I've watched videos about it. I mean, what the historians say is that they made this pyramid for a tomb for somebody, for like a gravestone. It's all just a big gravestone. I mean, they just talk such shit. The historians and the archaeologists, they talk total nonsense. That's why one of the reasons I read fiction, because you get more total nonsense. That's why one of the reasons I read fiction, because you get more better history from fiction. The Malazan Book of the Fallen, Stephen Erickson, nice Norwegian name. But that's a better version of history than what the historians come up with. You know, because then the historians are lying through their teeth. this fiction is just random. So he accidentally probably hits on the truth loads of times. Dear. So yeah, it's a difficult thing to talk about because it's such. I mean, people are so deceived by the written word that if you try to like talk to them about it being a bad thing, they don't know how, they don't know how to react. They don't want to feel stupid. They don't want to think, well, why didn't I think of that? No, people don't like being told what's what. But I'm telling you, right? You might not like being told what's what, but if you try and do the research that I've done, you ain't gonna. You ain't gonna. It's not only is it exhausting and like takes years and years and years and years. It's not. It's more difficult and becoming a professor, right? At university, finding out that the written word is a great evil is more difficult, as far as I'm concerned. It's more difficult, more difficult is more work involved, you know. You have to do is work involved, you know. You have to do is is because it's all been tampered with and messed around with. It's really hard to find out about it. It's a great evil. If you try to tell anyone, everybody ignores you. So you end up thinking at work, why did so hard to find out this stuff? And now when I try telling people, nobody wants to know. So we're in this man-made mass extinction. The life forms all starting to like because there's structures in nature, you know, like where one life form dependent on not life for another dependent on that